species over 700, 800 square miles now. It's killed millions upon millions of bats. And these bats eat their body weight in bugs. And here you got all these bugs that aren't dead now. You got the bats that used to eat them; they're dropping dead. I mean, it sets up a major dynamic, and also with the ice. No ice there. Well, okay. You look at the higher elevations in Canada and stuff. When all that water starts running off, man, you're going to have double, triple whammies. You can have dam failures, all kinds of different problems. They're not set up for this climate stuff. And now that the Arctic summer ice is gone by the year 2015, which I was screaming from the rooftops for years, heck, I was doing it at your house, Tim, over there in Michigan. We
Oh,
did that radio show years ago. I front told everybody
hey,
what
hey,
was going
Bugs,
to go
hey, Bugs,
down.
can I ask you a question? Can
Yeah,
I
go
ask
ahead.
you a question, Bugs? In terms of
Yeah.
your knowledge of global warming or whatever, um, theoretically, what would be a good region of the United States to live in, say, the next decade, if we're even around then?
Well,
North,
uh,
south, west, east?
He's
well,
been
you
calling for years.
Yeah, you got to roll with the flow on this. The main thing is going to be your air currents because you're going to have so many bad wildfires. It's like this winter. We're set up for a big problem just with the planetary alignment. Okay, see, we got multiple things happening out in space right now. Now, does it all impact the Earth? Of course it does. Anything that happens out there impacts this little blue marble. And the sun's being impacted right now by the local fluff. It's about to do its magnetic pole change because it does it every 11 years. This year, it's no different. We're in the 11 years flip over. But this year we got planets lining up, which drops the protection strength of the magnetic field of the Earth. So 20 times the amount of solar radiation could get through during a lineup of the planets. So before the lineup, after the lineup, and during the lineup, you're going to have a different dynamic happening here with the magnetic pole, which puts us, at a very weakened state. We can actually get what they call the kill shot from the sun. You can get an X
Hey,
class flare that's low, or even an M class that's high, but with the shield down, man, it's not good. It's not a good thing. Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
so, so, Scotty, where would the safest spot that you could imagine? Where would they be?
Well, you know the answer to that. It's in the Lord, man. He'll guide you through this thing. But
Uh,
looking at it with the tools that He's given all of us, because He's given us eyes to see and ears to hear, and we're going through this truth process and sifting out, what is the true reality, not this false reality that these demigods have created. And we look at the animals. What are the animals doing? What are the planets doing? How is the Earth adjusting to this massive dynamic of this ice moving? Because you're going from a glacier to a water age, and this water is changing the surface of the planet. It's creating new rivers. It's like this thing down over here, the flash flood alert over in Australia. There have been 43 flood rescues since Monday, with 179 calls for help overnight on Friday. Meanwhile, 2,000 people remain isolated by flood waters across the state in the Northwest. Even though they have had a really strong focus, here was to maintain a very strong presence in the already affected regions, making sure we drop supplies and resupplies, Mr. Owens said. And this is coming out of RSOEEDS. But, that's not this Mr. Owen. It's a different Mr. Owen. But,
was going to ask you, is he related to you?
It could be, I don't know. Because that was my stepdad's last name. He adopted me, and he had 6 kids before me. One's in naval intelligence. I haven't talked to them in a long time, and he passed away, years ago. So, probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't know, but
But just using two areas just for sake of gauging North American continent. Say, for example, Florida and New Mexico. Can we expect radical changes in the next 10 years in terms of the environment in those places? One being kind of like a varied desert terrain, and another being sort of like a tropical environment. I'm just,
Well, they're already forecasting the Texas area to be drought central for the next 10 years. So when you're dealing with the lower states in the United States, it doesn't look good. It looks like they're going to get continuously hammered by either major storms or major droughts, and they can flip on a dime. You got the ocean current stalling. We're in a double El Nino that they have never seen before. You had that meteorologist come out last year, and he goes, man, I've never seen one like this. And he went into all the models, and nothing like it. When you got this much water leaving, like Greenland, they lost what, 600 gigatons of weight, because this is weight. You're talking a gigaton is 1 billion tons. In a 5-month period, that place rebounded out of the ocean almost an inch. This is unheard of stuff. They're flying in the dark. They have never seen these dynamics since the paleontology. You have to go way back to see things like this going on. They got what, CO2 levels that they haven't seen in 650,000 years. They got a methane gas release up there in Arctic summer or Arctic Sea that they haven't seen in 450,000 years. You got a hole in your ozone. It's getting bigger and bigger since Fukushima blew. 3 weeks after, it increased 40%, and it's kept on going. Those things burn super hot, and they deposit that nuclear stuff all over the planet.
It's very interesting you should say that, because somewhere in the scripture it says, I believe it's Revelation, it says that eventually men would curse the Creator because of the heat of the sun.
Well, those things burn hotter than the sun, man. They're atomic, man. What, 3.5 million degrees or so? As they tarry through their life's journeys of destroying the planet, whatever, and then you're looking at. Go ahead, bro.
So the weakening of the magnetosphere that protects us from the radiation ultraviolet rays, and the combination with Fukushima disputing radiation into the atmosphere, with both of them being the way they are, this would have a great effect on all, say,